Hi everyone, uh, welcome to the next step of working with the pyramids. If you remember the last part, the first step actually, the previous step was thinking about our own pyramid by defining what we want to consider on the focal expertise, on the capabilities that are hard and the soft complementary capabilities. A point that I want to highlight and was part of the questions I've received from some of you was about the distinction between the hard and the soft skills. There are a few different ways of making this distinction. One way is that the things that are related to a technique or a technology would be considered hard. The ones that are more about the social, they are soft. What I would suggest to think about in terms of the pyramid is not that definition, is rather thinking about the hard capabilities as capabilities that are specific or unique or more or less relevant in your own profession and domain, not as the generic or general capabilities that are relevant in any profession. And then when you think about the soft capabilities, are mostly the ones that are important for your own capability, for your own profession, but they are also generic and relevant for many others. For instance, teamwork, interpersonal communications, writing skills, communication skills, critical thinking. These are the ones that are. And some of actually the technical skills, such as let's say digital skills, these days seem to be quite generic for many professions, so you can put them to the soft side. So if you are done with the step one, or if you haven't had the chance to do that, feel free to do that and combine it maybe with the step 2 and 3 and come along with the next step. So the next step is thinking about our situation in 2025. In 5 years' time, where do we want to achieve on each of these capabilities? You start from thinking about your focal expertise. Do you want to reach to the level of proficient? Do you want to be an expert, or just being at the level of the competent is enough? The same you do for the hard skills and for the soft skills, and you designate where you need to be at that time. When you think about that, you can think about the ideal job that you are considering for yourself, the ideal CV in 2025. You can think about your vision and see what you can get from that vision in terms of the level that you need to achieve on each of these domains. Something useful is if you can find someone who already has achieved these levels of in your career, is already 5 years ahead of you. You can share your pyramid with that person and get some ideas about how far you need to be on those areas of expertise. That would be step 2, and then the step 3 is where we reflect on where we are now, how far we already developed these capabilities. Again, we can start from the focal expertise. Maybe this is an area that I have already studied and learned to some level, but then still need to further develop. The same you do for the hard capabilities. Sometimes even we haven't achieved even the first level, and also for the soft capabilities. And in case you got to situations that on certain capabilities you think that you already achieved the level that you need to have, for instance in 5 years, it doesn't mean that that area or that domain is not important. No, it is important, but perhaps it doesn't need to be in your pyramid. And instead, if you have another domain of capability as a candidate to add to your pyramid, it's better that you replace it with a domain that you still can work on it and improve. Something here, if you are assessing your current capabilities, probably you need a reference point. If you don't have that reference point, we are mostly driven by our subjective interpretation, so I might be a little bit tough on myself and assess my capabilities low. So I think again, thinking about the other people who are now active in the area that you think to go, and also thinking about the level of the people in the context that you would like to work, gives you a better reference point of how far you are in comparison with them. But in general, it's not a bad thing if we go a little bit critical to our current level on these domains. So that's the step 3, and I would like to invite you to take these 2 next steps. If you haven't done the first, you can combine it with this step 2 and 3. Send your pyramids through WhatsApp to me, and I will try to come back to you as soon as I can with my comments and suggestions. Wish you a very nice time and keep in touch.